So, guys, I'm going to tell you a story real quick. Something that's very, very important to me, and I feel like it molded the entire person you see in front of you. Okay? It's very important, and I'll get into that. But I'm a little older than you might realize. Okay? Hopefully not. Hopefully I'm as old as you think I am, but younger than you think I am. Yeah, there you go. Hopefully that's the truth. But I'm 32 years old, and I spent the entire portion of my 20s in a relationship and married. And I was one of those people where all my friends was like, hey, you guys are never going to break up, because we were at the point where we finished each other's sentences. You know what I'm saying? It was that kind of relationship where you could read each other's damn minds. It was very, very cool, and something that, I don't feel like you experience very often. When people are around my wife, they said, wow, she's just like you. And when, her friends were around me, they're like, wow, you're just like, your ex-wife, So it was one of those like one in a million things. And it seemed like that to me. I had friends, growing up that were in and out of relationships and, giving me horror stories. And I was always that person that thought, that's never going to happen to me. I'm going to be the one person that makes it, because everything was always perfect. There was never any fighting. There was never anything wrong. So I never saw an issue. But when I was 26 years old, several years into this relationship, almost 8, I came home one day, and I noticed immediately, and I mean immediately, something was wrong, because my ex-wife is very, very quiet. Okay. So I, sit her down, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And she tells me without hesitation that she doesn't love me anymore, and she's leaving. She's done. And of course I'm taken aback, because I'm like, wait a second. I thought we were supposed to die together. I thought we were supposed to be getting eaten by worms in the same plot, baby. I even got them bought already. Okay. I'm getting buried with my dog and you. And now suddenly it's just my dog in the grave alone. And now I'm lonely. All right. I'm only putting my dog in there now for some reason. And he's going to be in there for a long time, because he can be super dead before I get there. Maybe. I don't know. If I die soon, it'll work out perfectly. But no, without hesitation, she told me this. And this shook the foundation of my life and my belief structure. Suddenly, I realized right away that I was no different than anybody else. I was not special. My relationship wasn't special. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Through these years of being in this relationship, I don't feel like I grew up. Like, just going to get the bills put in my name was like a life-altering experience, because we always shouldered half of the burden. That's how it always was. So now I'm alone in this house, and everything's very, very wrong. Okay? So immediately, things started to spiral out of control very fast. And about a month or two after this happened, I hit rock-ass bottom. It was December 27th, 2016. I was working at GameStop, and I worked, a 12 or 14 hour shift, because it was December 27th. And I was dead inside. And I was laying in bed, and it was 11 o'clock or midnight, and I had to get up at 7 a.m. and go back to work. And my thought process got really messed up. So this is the only time in my life where I thought that, hey, there's a different way out now. And I've grown up always thinking depression, and when my friends would struggle with issues like that, I always thought, that doesn't make sense to me, because I've never felt that. And for the first time in my life, I felt it, and I felt it hard. I would go in the back room at GameStop and break down in between, checking people out, because I just wasn't, it was like all this crazy trauma all at once during a stressful period. So on December 27th of 2016, I put a gun in my mouth. And I put the safety on, and I squeezed the trigger as hard as possible. And luckily, guns are made really well. And it was fine. I'm joking about this now. It's pretty terrible at the time, and I get that. I understand it. But thinking back, I'm like, damn, thank God for safeties, right? But no, it was the moment that changed everything, because after that moment, everything flipped upside down. So I started on my path of recovery right then. And I decided that I was always going to do everything that I set out to do. A lot of people have this issue where they talk about what they want to do, their dreams and aspirations, and they wait around to do them. Or they never do them and they just wait and they think about it. I decided that's not what I was going to do. So immediately I started realizing GameStop was not where I was going to die at. And I stopped caring. And my district manager noticed. And he wanted me out because we were no longer ranking in the top 200. We were ranking in the top 1,000. And he wanted me to rank number 1 every week. So he tried to find a reason to get rid of me. So I left GameStop. And immediately I was like, you know what? I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I put my resume in everywhere and went hard as hell. And I found a job immediately as a district manager at Walmart that was contracted out by Walmart. At the time, they weren't owned by Walmart, but eventually they were. So I started doing this, and I was making triple the money I was at GameStop. Life was great. And I said to myself, I was driving home, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give YouTube a real try. I'm going to release a video. I'm going to give it a real try. I did in October of 2018. And a few months later, it hit 1 million views, and I had a subscriber base, and I started doing YouTube. Started doing YouTube immediately. And things like that kept happening where I would just focus on something and I would do it. And I wouldn't tell myself to not do it. I was doing it no matter what. Now, here's the controversial part about how I recovered from this situation. And it doesn't work for everybody, I'm sure. But I downloaded Tinder and Bumble. And I don't know about y'all, but I started swiping on it. And I started getting matches. And I started meeting some very, very colorful people. And it was a very eye-opening experience. And now it got a little overboard because it's what I did to cope. I was quite literally clapping a different girl every day, and I'm not joking. And it started getting real stressful. And I did that for 1.5 years, maybe. Every day. And I was drinking a lot, too. But I wasn't, like, addicted to the drink. Even though I do love a good Jack and Coke. Makes my pores open and makes me feel like I'm sitting in front of a crackling fire. Oh, sweet Jesus. Ooh, tell you what, baby. Ooh, please, God, give me more. No, I didn't rely on the bottle, but that was how I got through that situation is I downloaded Tinder and Bumble and started swiping and started clapping with no remorse. Now, granted, I told these people that I was hanging out with what my intentions were from the beginning. I'm not going to date you. I'm looking for a friend that I can hang out with, have fun with, and give the old cable to. And that's what I did. And I did not think about my ex-wife ever past that point. And I mean ever. It was just gone. And months turned into years, and, YouTube became a real possibility for me. We hit 100,000 subscribers in February of 2020, I believe. It was just very fast. And I decided, you know what? I want to race. I want to race in a NASCAR style thing because, look, I know it's weird. I'm from Alabama. I don't know. I love oval racing. I love road course racing too. Love Formula One. So I bought one of them. I financed the hell out of it because I financed it. Obviously, I didn't pay cash for that bitch because I'd be screwed as hell because I have like $38. But I financed the car and I started racing it. And all of a sudden, I'm flying around ovals at 200 miles an hour and living the dream. And the only thing that made that happen was I said, I'm going to do that. And I went and did it. And that's how I coped, and that's how I survived that whole situation, is I just said, hey, this is what I'm going to do, and I did it. And I didn't let anyone stop me from doing it. Okay? When I first started getting noticed on YouTube, there was several creators making anti-hate videos about me. About me saying I'm a liar, I have a dumb accent, I have a dumb face, this, that. I let that roll off my back so fast because my dream has always been to be a content creator for YouTube since I was younger. And this is the first time I've ever tried. And it was working out. And I've always wanted to race, and it's working out. The best advice that I can give to you, if you're in a rough place, it doesn't have to be a relationship or a divorce. You're in a rough place in your life. You're going through a divorce. You're going through a breakup. Focus on what you want to do and do it. And don't let anybody stop you from doing it. Ever. That is all you have to do. It is so much easier than you think. You can make one phone call and change your life. That's how fast it happens. And that's all you got to do is pick up the phone, man. Don't text them now. I know it's 2022. Don't text them. Call their asses. People respect that. You can do what you want to do if you put your mind to it, okay? Unless it's like being an astronaut and you're like 58 and you haven't went to school yet. It might still be possible. I don't know. You just got to put your mind to it, man. The worst thing you can do is sit there sad about the girl or the guy that left you. You know what I'm saying? It's the worst thing you can do, all right? What worked for me was clapping ass. Maybe that don't work for you, but maybe meeting people will. Go out to a bowling alley. Go out to somewhere and have fun and meet people while you're doing it. And suddenly, that cloud's not over your head anymore. And I know people cope in different ways. I'm not going to lie to your ass and say that. I know people cope in different ways. But that's how I coped. And I want you to take that as you will. Maybe you can apply some of that. Maybe you can apply none of it. And maybe just the fact that I didn't fail at the safety on my gun. Maybe that will bring you some encouragement. Because that's good now. I think about that sometimes. I'm like, well, hell, I'm real glad that worked out. Could you imagine? Damn. Well, I guess I couldn't imagine. But hey, take that as you will. If you're going through something right now, I am there for you. Comment what you're going through down below. If you're not comfortable with that, comment how you feel. Because all you need is an ear. And all you need is to have an idea of what you want to do and go do it. And that's it. Easy peasy. Easier said than done, I know. But you got to work towards it because that's the only way out. The only way out is through.